Hello guys, I am back from another video and today we talk about what if Deku was in Genshin Impact or was reincarnated into Genshin Impact. So in the last video we talked about how after the whole battle between them and Raiden Shogun declares that the Vision of Decree is finally over. And now is gonna be marrying Izuku. Yeah, she's sort of, I guess you could say bend the rules a little bit. If she doesn't marry Izuku, well, she will start, the Vision Decree all over again. So Izuku's forced to marry her. So after that day, the rebels would decide to have a party as everybody's celebrating it, including, some members of Raiden Shogun's, army, because they did really wanted to do it in the first place. I mean, most of them did, but most of them did most of them did really want to do it. I meant, sorry about that. Wait for a second. And because of that, everybody was basically having a bit of fun. Except for Izuku, because Izuku is not really ready for marriage. Mostly because, back in his world, he never really got married. Because when he first fell in love, aka with, a certain girl by the name of Toga, well, apparently she fell in love with somebody else, aka his best friend, or at least somewhat best friend, aka Dabi. And so after, remembering about that, he would start, slumping his head, as you would see, Lumine basically talking to him, or at least, Lumine wanting to talk to him. Lumine would basically explain what is he going to do, or at least what is he going to, tell everybody in Mondstadt about his whole marriage thing with, Raiden Shogun. Well, let's just say he's pretty much frustrated about that and even said that he's no way there's going to be, he's no way gonna tell everybody about that because, he literally has a yandere maid knight there, right over there back in Mondstadt, which, by the way, yeah. So, and because of that, she would say, well, I mean, technically, you can do polygamy. I mean, technically, we can do polygamy, or at least a polygamous type of relationship, technically, in this world. Which, let's just say, Izuku is pretty much, kind of flustered thinking about that, and also, what the fuck. So, after that, they would basically decide to go to sleep because it's going to be the next day. The next day is going to be their day, or at least the day that they're going to be leaving, Inazuma to go back to, Mondstadt. Because they're going to be planning to, bring everybody from all three of the nations, or at least the three nations currently in the game now, or technically four, because, because they recently, added, what is that called? Because they recently released Sumeru, aka, I guess you could say sort of Great Nation thing. I mean, I'm not really used to, the new characters yet. I mean, by the way, what's her name? Candace? Yeah. Candace is actually pretty hot in my opinion, by the way, so I'm probably gonna make a what if about that, or maybe do a redo of this what if, where I actually do, the whole part of, Sumeru, but for now, I'm gonna be keeping it as, before Sumeru, aka, just Mondstadt, Mondstadt, Leeway, and finally Inazuma, and not Sumeru yet. Maybe in a redo or something of that sort. Anyway, so after that, they would basically start leaving in the morning, as while they were, leaving, they would see, both Raiden and also, Kujosara. And both of them would, give him a farewell kiss, which, by the way, he's currently flustered and currently wanting to go home. And so, after leaving, we move to a different perspective. In this case, Mondstadt, which currently every single night of Vonius is hearing about, the whole announcement that Izuku and, Lumine are coming back, which they're pretty excited about. Mostly because after hearing the whole, exploits of them, specifically, Izuku and Lumine, well, let's just say they're pretty excited to see them again. Mostly, the maid knight in question, aka Noelle, aka Yandere girl over there, and, his childhood friend, aka Amber, which they're currently excited to finally see them again. And so, after leaving, a completely, kind of tired-ish, Jean would basically explain to a girl by the name of Cleitude, and I quote, do not do any fish blasting. After doing that, she would start to leave as she does the complete opposite, and so would decide to go, to that fish blasting place. As, a certain girl by the name of, what's her face? Lisa would decide to just ignore it and just let her have her fun. And so, that is basically what happened last episode. And so, let's talk about what happens next. So, we go to Izuku currently still in the ship as he's sleeping right next to Lumine. As, currently outside, Kazuha is currently, playing his little, flute. Not really flute, but more like, I can't remember the actual name of that specific leaf, but it's the leaf that you use to almost create these almost harmonic sounds. Yeah, those leaves. And by the way, I actually do know how to, do that. But used to. Yeah, I sort of forgotten ever since, COVID happened. Oh, I missed that skill, though, bruh. Anyway, so, currently with Kazuha is still pretty much playing it, currently late at night. As, for, a certain, beta over there, currently, commanding her crew. As, while she was commanding it, she was basically, going around, basically having a bit of fun. As in fun, I mean drinking. While they were drinking, they would see land nearby, as she would say, alright men, let's get ready. As they would start, grabbing their stuff, as some of the men would basically get ready to anchor to basically, slam it down onto the floor to basically anchor themselves to, to where they're currently going to land. So wait for a second. Sorry about that, I sort of sneezed, god dang it, my nose. Why it had to be today, god dang it. Anyway, so continuing on with the episode. So, as while she was doing all of that, they would start to make a lot of noise. So much noise, in fact, that it woke up, Izuku. As Izuku would basically, wake up, he would see Lumine in his arms, basically, having a nice rest. As Izuku would say this, hey Lumine, it's time to wake up. Sorry about that. As when she does, she would say, just a few more minutes, Izuku. She would say with a, completely cute-ass voice, as he would say, come on, Lumine, it's time to wake up. After all, we are here. As she would say, fine. And so, after waking up, it's been about 2 days ever since they left Inazuma to go back to Mondstadt. And so, as everybody is basically, currently the crew is basically, outside, is just landing everything as they would make it towards the ports. As when she, specifically Beto sees this, she would say, alright guys, let's get all of our stuff ready. And so they would start grabbing some, luggage and also some, materials that were meant to be used to, be sold off to, Mondstadt. So, as Izuku would see this, he would say, well, that's certainly a lot of stuff. As she would say this, specifically Lumine, yeah, most of them were souvenirs. As Izuku would say this, I guess so. And so, they would basically start getting off the ship and would say goodbye to Beidou. So, they would start walking towards, Mondstadt, or at least the city of Mondstadt, as while they were going towards it, they would slowly start to hear explosions. As when Izuku heard them, he would say, Lumine, did you just hear that? As she would say this, yeah, and it definitely doesn't sound normal. As Izuku would say, come on, let's go. As Izuku would start to, create a little, a pretty large Susanoo, more specifically just its, humanoid form, aka the one that has skin but no armor, and has legs, similar to, Madara's one. But instead it has, half, half electro-like body, and the other side is like a pyro-like body. And so they would start running towards the direction of, the large explosions. Currently in the lake proper. A girl with blondish hair and red eyes, similar to Bakugo, seemed to be summoning these weird-looking creatures that seemed to explode. As while she was doing that, she would start, exploding a lake. Currently nearby was a man with, blondish hair and bluish eyes, as you'd say, wonderful. I never thought explosions to be this beautiful before. As a girl with, goat-like... Wait for a second. Seems to have greenish hair, similar to, Izuku, but much more brighter, to the point that it's almost mint color, and seems to have animalistic-like ears. She seems to be the shy type, to be more precise, as you'd say, Mr. Beto? Not, Beto, I meant, Mr. Albedo, I think it's a bad idea. I mean, as you would say this, don't worry, besides, I'm here. And she'll probably not, destroy everything. Probably, he would basically say, as he's still painting something. Specifically, a painting of, the girl, aka the blonde-haired girl, basically creating explosions to the point that she's basically just creating a mini version of Hiroshima. Yeah, that definitely doesn't seem good at all. So nearby, some villagers were noticing all of this as they're currently, getting ready to fight because they thought it was a threat. I meant a threat. Sorry about that, wait for knowing that he's a complete threat. So, as they would start, coming out of the shadows, they would slowly see something in the distance, including, the girl with the minty green hair and the man by the name of Mr. Albedo. Basically sees this as his eyes would be widened as he would say, what in the... As currently going back to Izuku's perspective, as he's basically running towards the direction of this, these large-ass explosions were coming from, Izuku and, Lumine are currently still in the Susano. As you'd say, I never thought this place to be, not electrifying or, burning or something, as Izuku would say this. Yeah, I was completely surprised myself. As they would slowly dissipate the Susano-like creature as they would basically jump out of it. As Izuku would say this, what the hell is going on? As the man by the name of Albedo would say this, hold on. So, mind telling me who are you? As Izuku would say this, well, the name's Izuku, and by the way, what the hell is going on here? I heard explosions, as he would say this. Wait, Izuku, are you perhaps Izuku of the Thousand Elements, right? As Sucrose would say this. You mean that Izuku of the Thousand Elements? I can't believe you're actually here, and you must be Lumine of the Golden Sword, right? As she would say this. Yeah, in the flesh, I guess you'd say. As one of them would say this. Incredible, said, Albedo. As the girl would say this. Mr. Albedo? What is happening? As she would just look at him, as he would say this. Oh, don't worry. By the way, Izuku, or, Mr. Midoriya, as Izuku would say this. Oh, just call me Izuku. I'm not really into formalities. Or at least unless it's, for business. As he would say this. I see. Well, don't worry. It's mostly for art. As he would say this. Art? Are you serious? You almost caused an internal, you almost tossed the entire area to basically think, oh yeah, we're being attacked by somebody or something. As he would say this. Yeah, I guess you could say that, but still, don't worry, it isn't that really bad. But before he can say anything else, an arrow would basically shoot towards his feet, as he would basically jump out of the way. As they would look over and would see a lot of hillachos looking towards them. As he would say this. Well, this is certainly going to be annoying, he would say, as he would start grabbing some chalk, as he would start creating little butterflies from them, as they would charge over to basically slam into, into some of the, hillachos, as Izuku would say this. Hey, Lumine, cover me. As she would say this. Got it. As she would start creating little blasts of wind towards them. Almost like, just imagine how the noble phantasm of Da Vinci is. Specifically, Da Vinci, Da Vinci Caster at her, I think it was called Onamo Universale. I think that's the actual pronunciation. If I'm wrong, then, just comment down below. So, after doing that, they would explode instantly as they would start running away from the blast, as Izuku would say, oh no you don't, as he would start creating a large body made out of the Susano. But instead of not just being a part of, not just being, covered in both, electro and pyro energy, but it's also covered in, in armor, more specifically, armor made out of, not pyro, I meant, geo energy. As you'd say, take this, Ragnarok. After saying this, the sword made out of electricity would basically be slammed down onto the ground as a large explosion would basically appear. Just imagine how Naruto elements work. In this case, when rock and, or at least the earth element and the electro element, or in this case, just electricity or lightning or whatever you want to call it, mixed with earth creates, the explosion Kenkai Genkai, or at least I think that's the name, Kenkai Genkai, or Keki Genkai, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's how it works. When I first saw this, I thought it was going to be like either, earth or like, anything besides, electricity. Like, why? I mean, I can definitely see why. I mean, lightning strikes the ground, creates a big explosion, but still, I thought it was going to be like, fire and something else. But it seems I was wrong. So, anyway, continuing on with the episode, as after creating that large explosion, they would start running away in an instant, as Izuku would say this. Cowards. After saying this, he would look towards everybody as Izuku would say this. Well, that's certainly an introduction. That's certainly an introduction, eh? He would basically say, as the girl would have sparkling eyes. Just imagine, the girl from, just imagine Eri back in the, first episode of, not really first episode, but more like, her debut episode, where she was like, having those sparkling eyes, seeing that, she's gone like the candy apple. I can't remember that specific episode, but I think it was the, the one in the, Culture Festival, yeah. So just imagine it just like that. So, after doing this, she would say, that was awesome, she would say. Can you show me that? And can we go fish blasting? As Izuku would say this. Fish blasting? She would say this. She would say this. Yeah, look. She would start grabbing the, I think it was called the Humpy Dumpty. I think it was called her, alt. As after, throwing the large thing, he would say, it actually looks kind of... As before he can say anything else, it will explode instantly, destroying the entire, lake, as several fish would be flying away. As he would say, alright, who the fuck gave the child that, he would start remembering a bit of Bakugo in her, except a little bit less, murder tied to murder shit. As he would start looking at her, as she would say, did I do something bad, Mr. Izuku, as Izuku would say this. No, it's not really that bad, but as you would start to think, I swear to God, if Archons are able to, give their visions, or at least their specific elemental vision, well, seriously, what the fuck did you just do, what is his name? What the fuck did you just give her, you damn Pyro Archon? He would basically start to say in his mind, currently in another country. The Pyro Archon is just going about his day as you'd feel, I feel something, something is about to kill me in the next, year or so, he would basically say in his mind. As you'd say, probably nothing. And we go back to Izuku, as Izuku would say this. It's nothing really that bad, but how? As she would say this. Oh, it's just this. I call it my Humpy Dumpy, as Izuku would say this. I see. Anyway, I'm just gonna be going into Mondstadt. I am gonna be, staying here for a while. Especially with my girlfriend over here. As, I'll be able to say this. Actually, it does make sense. After all, you seem to be quite powerful. And all the descriptions about you seem to be that, both of you are completely inseparable. As Izuku would say this. I guess you could say that. And so, he would basically say goodbye to, both Sucrose and also Albedo and also the new girl, aka, her, aka Miss. Almost tried to explode the entire lake. Yeah. So, after going into Mondstadt and seeing a few guards basically saluting to them, he would start going in as you would see several people having a lot of fun. It seems to be a festival. As while Izuku was looking around, wait for a second, my nose, sorry about that. So, after seeing the townspeople basically having a lot of fun, he would say, are they having a festival right now? As she would say this, I think so. As Paimon would say this. Either way, she would start grabbing a lot of food as she would say, Paimon thinks is absolutely fun. As Izuku would say this. I guess you could say that. While he was carrying something big, more specifically a large ass plushie. As she would say this. And you're complete I guess you could say a bit of a marksman. I mean, I'm pretty surprised that you're able to do that. As Izuku would say this. Well, I guess you could say a kunai is similar to a gun. I mean, you're able to shoot things with it. Or in this case, throw it. As she would say this. Good point, I guess. Either way, as Izuku would say this. As she would say, do you have anything to, give, Amber and also the well when we come back here? Or at least come back to their house? To her house, aka Amber's house, as Izuku would say this. Well, yeah, I do have something for her. As after roaming around in his pockets, he would say this. As Izuku would show something beautiful. It was a completely beautiful looking ring, which almost gives off a ethereal aura, as he would say this. I sort of got it after defeating Lost Yora. Or at least, sort of. I saw it right next to her after she died by, Raiden Shogun. As she would say this. I'm guessing that's supposed to be the wedding ring for her and you. As Izuku would say this. Yeah, but I'm probably gonna use this for, just giving it to Noelle and, Amber. As she would say this. How about me exactly, she would say with a happy tone. As Izuku would say this. Oh, that. Well, I sort of got you something as well. As she would say, wait, really? As Izuku would say this. Yeah. As he would grab something from from his coat. As this something was this. He would basically get it from, under his, pocket. Or pocket, area. Under his, jacket type thing. Yeah. So, after grabbing it, it would be a beautiful necklace. With, a heart-shaped gem. Which, the heart-shaped gem seems to be colored blue. With a purplish tint. As Izuku would say this. This is for you. As she would say, it's beautiful. Thank you, Izuku. As Izuku would say this. Don't mention it. After all, you are my girlfriend. As she would say, yeah, but you also have a few more girls as well. As Izuku would say this. Yeah, whatever. And so, after a while talking, they would arrive back at, Amber's house. As they would say, alright, let's get in. And so they would slowly, open the gate and would basically, walk to the door as they would knock on it. As a few steps were heard, as she would say, come in, as she would look over and would see Izuku, as she would say, Izuku! As after, hugging him, he would say, it's been a while, as before he can say anything else, he would notice that she's just wearing a towel, as he would say, wait, Amber, what are you wearing? As she would say, oh, yeah, I thought you were, Noelle. Sorry about that. As Izuku would say this, either way, you should probably wear something. You might, as she would say, oh yeah, sorry. And so would basically, tell both of them to basically come in, as she would start changing into her normal-ish outfit. Mostly the one that she wore, in the manga. But except a little bit more casual. So, as she would say, so, you're finally back. I thought you were gonna come back in, a few more days, as Izuku could say this. Well, it sort of became, a bit easier in the sea, so we kind of came here, a bit earlier. As you say, I see. As you'd say, so, Izuku, I heard about your whole, fiasco back in Liyue and also recently in Inazuma. I can't believe you, became a sort of criminal there. As Izuku would say this. Yeah, no kidding. As you'd say, Hopefully she didn't know about the whole, Raiden Shogun trying to force me to marry her thing. As she would say this. Either way, do you have any souvenirs or something? As Izuku would say this. Oh yeah. As he would grab the large looking, toy, as you would say this. I got it during the, festival there. By the way, what's with the, as she would say, oh yeah, it's the, um, it was the Four Winds Festival. As Izuku would say this. Four Winds Festival? Oh yeah, I heard of it. I should say this. Yeah, so anyway, do you have anything else? Like not from the, recent event? As Yuzuku would say this. Oh yeah, here. As you would grab a what like a single ring. As you would say, whoa, looks beautiful. Looks like it's Shiznai in origin. As you would say this. Yeah, you see, I sort of gotten it from, a as you'd decide to lie, as you'd say, well, I saw it off, I saw it after a, fight between me and a few, a few members of the Fatui. As you say, cool, and, I just saw another ring. Is that for, as you would say this? Oh yeah, that's for Noel. As you'd say, I see. Huh. Anyway, you should, probably get some sleep. After all, you're probably tired from your trip. As Izuku would say this. Yeah, no kidding. As you would start to yawn, as you'd say, hey Lamine, I'm gonna be getting some sleep now. Come with us to the bedroom later, okay? As you'd say this. Okay. As after saying that, they would slowly get into the room, as Izuku would basically change into his, I guess you could say sleeping clothes, as for Lamine. While they were basically, out, all alone for, yeah, Paimon. Paimon was just all alone, I should say this. Can you please rephrase, can you please rephrase that? Paimon thinks that you're about to do something dirty, she would say. As after doing that, they would slowly, go into their bed. AKA, both Izuku, Lumine, and also a certain red-haired girl, or, yeah, not red-haired girl, I meant brownish-haired girl, aka, Amber. As they would start, coming a bit closer, as Izuku would hug both Lumine and Amber at the same time. As you'd say this, good night, my two lovely princesses, as she would say this, specifically Lumine. Love you too, as she would say this, love you too, Izuku. And so, both of them, or at least all three of them, would basically fall to sleep. So, yeah. So, this is going to be the end of this episode. So, yeah. So, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.